Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Art of Awakening. My name is Ona, and today I thought I'd take you on the trail a little bit. I'll try to stay still because it jostles a bit, but thought I'd take you on trail because I've got a question here from a viewer about spirit animals. And so the question is, can these spirit animals come to us in times of pain and suffering? In other words, at the lowest point in our lives or at times of great challenge happening in our life. And this person goes on to say, for the past 3 years, they've been struggling more than ever in life, and more of these animals are popping up than ever. And it says it's like these animals are trying to get my attention in the real world and in dreams, like they're trying to tell me something. And they say I keep on ignoring them. I guess that's why I'm here trying to figure out maybe what they're trying to say to me. Okay, so first of all, there's several points here that I think are super important to address. And so join me in this video and we'll talk about spirit animals and the dark night of the soul. Okay, so I just want to share a little bit about my experience with spirit animals. And it really goes back to, I guess I've been sort of working with them since I was a tiny little child, because they'd come through my art and I was always really aware of animals, like they come in dreams and so forth. And after a while I became aware that there would be like a certain animal, type of animal, that would be coming to my consciousness or just showing up in my life kind of a lot at certain times. And it wasn't until I think I was in my late 20s that I started to really look at this. It's like, oh wow, kind of what's happening here. And a few years back when I had my awakening, there were certain animals that were really showing up a lot. Rabbit was one, vulture was another one. And I started to kind of work with the meaning of those animals, and it did help. And so here's what I can kind of tell you about this dark night of the soul. So as you're probably aware, a lot of people, when they start to awaken, a lot of times it's because, or it's triggered by this, difficult times in their lives. And sometimes that's what we need in order to kind of shift into a new type of awareness, a spiritual awareness. And so this, it's very common actually for the spirit animals to start showing up then. And when this was kind of when I was going through this stage, we were living in a town in Wisconsin, and I just happened to be just really drawn to this crystal shop, which, I had no idea. To me, it was just kind of pretty stones. But I would go in there, and finally, one day I just found myself signing up for a Reiki class, and I didn't know why, I didn't know what it was, but I got talking to the owner of the shop, who was a wonderful woman. It was a Reiki master, and I kind of told her about the animals, and she said, oh, that's great. And she said, a lot of times the animals will come in first, and after a while you may start connecting with angels. And to me at that time it was like, angels, isn't that kind of just angels was not really on my radar screen as something that a rational human being would talk about. But lo and behold, a couple years later I did start connecting with angels. So it's kind of interesting, once the animals come in, a lot of times that they sort of sometimes will come in as like the little first guides that come in, because they're so accessible. The angels are very, very connected with Mother Earth, and we can really relate to them, right? They are, what they do is they come in as helpers to help us to understand how to navigate life on Earth. Okay, so the animals are very much about how to survive and thrive, on the earth as a, as a spiritual being that has to navigate the earth plane, right? An animal is very, very adapted to living living on the earth, living in the planet. And so as we begin to work with them, they are wonderful teachers for that. So if you're connecting with a particular animal, it's going to be reflecting back at you some things about something in your field is going to be needing the lesson of that particular animal and how to get through life, right? Another thing that they do is they're kind of showing up as, hey, we're here for you, right? It's kind of like the spirit world showing up and saying, hey, we know you're here, we can feel you, and you're not alone. And so just a few words of support for any of you who are in this experience of, you know, difficult times, challenging times. And I think the collective right now is going through a lot of this, which means that a lot of us as individuals are experiencing challenges. And so the encouragement is not to ignore the spirit animals when they come in. They are coming in for a reason, and they do have something to tell you. So I'm going to include a playlist here of the spirit animal videos that I've created so far. I am working on more. It tends to be kind of a slow deal, but kind of producing them as I feel guided, and looking to produce another one in the next probably a couple weeks here. So if you've been seeing a lot of spirit animals and haven't been paying a whole lot of attention, or just haven't really been looking into it, check out the playlist, and you know, let me know if there's a particular animal that you'd like to see. And if it's something that's really like concerning you, if it's something that you're really having a hard time working through, and really did, you know, feel like, if you feel guided that you just need somebody to help you through it, I'll put the link to work with me below as well. So have a lovely day, and we'll catch you again soon.